sweet as a dove. For the first time in my life, I see I need love.
We booked LL to do the first show.
And right away, we get the request from talent. LL decides that he wants to do a bedroom set. A bedroom set?
No, he doesn't know what he wants. Just tell him no.
No way.
Okay, well, LL called back. Okay, he wants a living room. And so we said, you know what? Let's just go for it. He came on stage, reclining on that couch, as cool as could be. And the crowd just went crazy, and it was a great way to open the series.
And then he got up, and he made his way towards the front of the stage, and he needed some ladies up there.
Anybody want to come up here with me? Anybody want to come up here?
But he didn't put any type of limit or anything on it, and the next thing you know...
I need love. Yeah, come on up. We're going to get busy.
The talent booker says to him, okay, I booked you, so that means that you have to take your shirt off just for me.
Always seemed to me that LL had to, at some point, take off his shirt.
She also demanded that he take it off during his performance, and he did.
There it is. The jersey's open.
The girls went crazy up there.
Ooh, off the Richter.
He's just a big, beautiful man.
The only thing that was surprising about that was that in all of that commotion, nobody knocked off the hat.
I love you.
And over the years, as his star has grown and he's become the mega international star he's become, he always comes back.
In our initial years of doing the show, it was very tough to book acts. And thinking back to that era, Def Jam was Motown.
Def Jam were very supportive of the show early on. As we were trying to launch the show, we went to their offices and begged for their support, and they really took care of us in the first couple of years.
Yo, what's up, Paulo? It's great to be here, you know what I'm saying? Yo, what's up, y'all? We're the Beastie Boys. I go by the name of Jam Master Jam, Run-DMC, you know what I'm saying?
If you never experienced the Run-DMC show, I'm talking about actually being in the crowd, seeing them live, then you never experienced the hip-hop show. It was just straight records, no digital machines, nothing. It was just 2 turntables and 2 mics.
In our first season, we reached out to Def Jam, and there was a group that was pretty hot, Run-DMC and Jam Master Jam. We weren't sure what we were going to get from them because they already had their props. They didn't have to perform on our little TV show, but they did.
Joseph Simmons, Daryl McDaniels, and Jason Mizell, also known as Run-DMC.
Television station managers were saying, I hope you're not going to give us all that rap stuff.
Like Dr. King said, we shall overcome.
What's up, Apollo? When they asked me to host a night at the Apollo, my father was the first person I called. I was like, oh, Daddy, oh, my God, so I'm going to be at the Apollo. He's like, you're singing? I said, Dad, no, I don't sing. And he goes, oh, good, good, good. That's good, because you shouldn't sing.
Please welcome uptime recording artist, Mappy J. Blige. Give it up.
Mary J. Blige is an Apollo sweetheart. I think from the first time she walked onto that stage, the audience just loved her.
She was the ghetto Duke Mary J. I'm talking about the big booty ghetto Mary J. So fine, like she was a ghetto classic.
We got out the truth, went through, and though we made it through the storm, I really want you to realize, I really want to put you on.
The Apollo never looked smaller to me.
It's so small. It's kind of small.
So small.
Look like a high school lunchroom.
And the second balcony is like right on top of you.
I got to see just how many fans I did have. The Apollo, like being in front of everyone and Yonkers sitting on the cars and singing for everyone. That's what that was. You can really tell that she comes from a place that's very, very connected to her audience.
Mary J. Blige is the quintessential example of what LL Cool J said, around-the-way girl.
She's an around-the-way kind of girl. She's like your girlfriend, you know. She's singing about things that, you know, you can relate to.
My obligation is to let her know that I love you right back.
So I slowly came to see all of the things that you were made of, and now I hope my dreams and inspiration lead me towards the real love.
When Mary hit the stage, you knew it was history.
And you could tell immediately that she was going to be a superstar.
She was so nervous backstage, and when she just commanded that stage, it was electrifying, and we were all saying, it was like, this is history, this is history.
She was literally the queen of hip-hop soul.
The
Talk about spirits of the Apollo. They're always lurking there, looking for a channel. I don't know who it is that came through Mary J's performance, but every time this woman comes to the Apollo, it's an incredible experience.
His first single went straight to the top of the charts. And tonight he's making his Apollo Theater debut. Not some sweaters. I know, put your hands together for R. Kelly and public announcement.
R. Kelly, legal problems notwithstanding, he had a great way with the crowd.
It was one of the most, not sensual, but one of the most sexual performances we've ever had on the show.
I honestly can't believe that he's singing a song about taking girls home and requiring it to be 18 and over.
Show you really saw one in front of that 8. There's been some things going around.
Him carrying that sign across our stage is indicative of what a tragic person he is. I mean, on one hand, you've got this genius when it comes to music. And on the other hand, you have someone who makes some very foolish mistakes, apparently.
R. Kelly, still in the game. Had to sign 18 and over. You make the call.
We were kids, and we didn't know what to expect from Apollo.
I mean, that showed guts. You know, like, I'm not scared of y'all.
You end up being a teenager again when Nelly steps on the stage.
I didn't know what the reaction would be like.
We had no idea who she was. She was just a background.
She sang the choruses, always on time.
Lil' Kim need to keep her clothes on.
She popped out of her top multiple times.
I said she's the Bob Marley of rap music.
That's what you call an Apollo performance.
Every year I've been invited to go to talent shows, different places that help judge talent. And Destiny's Child performed. They did No, 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 and then they did No, 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 the remix. So first question I ask is, do they have a second song they could do?
It was one of our first national television appearances. We were nervous because we were kids, 14 and 15 years old, and we didn't know what to expect from Apollo. We had a really great song out at the time, No, 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 but we were performing another song with me, and we were like, how are they going to take it? Maybe we should just do No, No, No and get out. I decided to walk down the stairs to just give a little roughness.
I mean, yeah, it was kind of brave for her to walk into the crowd, you know. I mean, that showed guts, you know, like, I'm not scared of y'all, you know what I'm saying? I come in your face. If you don't want to move, I'm going to come down here and sing to you.
I was 15. I didn't know.
You know, it's just little girls. I try not to look at them. Once I discover that you have a teen in your age, we really don't pay much attention to you. There's some troubles going around now for people who...
Yeah, they were young. Beyonce, them big old legs. Wow.
Yep. Beyonce first, you know, just starting to bloom.
Beyonce, he was fine then. Y'all, how old were they? It was, oof.
We were so nervous, but the good thing is that we got through it.
When I would travel around the country, I made it a point to always listen to hip-hop radio. And down in Houston, Texas, I'm hearing groups like OutKast. This was someone that we really wanted to project on this stage because they had something important to say in the music.
They had a band, they had background singers. They putting on a whole show.
OutKast is wild. They remind me like a mix of Parliament and, you know, some down south vibe.
The first performance that we did on there, we were kind of nervous, but me and Dre, you know, we kind of block all that out once we hit the stage, you know. Now, the second time we performed, it was like, okay, they gave us love, and so the more love they gave us, the more energy we give back.
New York is just a hard crowd, period. And that was a great feeling to have people come, you know, to the front and start to have a good time.
You know, you go to the Apollo, and it's intimidating at best, and still they maintained who they were as people. You know, it should give everyone else a lesson in the hip-hop game. Originality does work sometimes.
I can't wait to go back to see it when we do it now, you know what I'm saying? We got 5 albums now, and that was like on our second album back then. Just be funny to see how it goes down there.
Say, baby, yeah.
New York acts always had a decided advantage at the Apollo.
To walk out there and say, Brooklyn, New York, what's up? Everything gave you a little credibility.
But if you're representing the Bronx in a bad way, you're going to pay for it.
They go for the talent, nothing less. Gotta have the pipes, mama. That's an audience that wants to hear the notes.
Salt-N-Pepa, as a musical group, as a performance group, were the benchmark, you know, and not just for women in rap. I mean, they were the benchmark for rap groups in general.
The audience itself always gave Salt-N-Pepa love and support. It was a catapult for us. It was inspirational to be a part of that scene, to be able to perform on that particular stage.
They were kind of hard, kind of raw. They were pumped, you know, gyrate, they wear sexy clothes.
They always had the fly haircuts. They always brought different fashion to the game. And
the door knocker earrings, and you knew like their cheeks were probably bruised at the end of their performance. You know, ow, push it, close, close.
Salt-N-Pepa's dancing. It certainly could be classified as risque at the time. I mean, if you look at it now, it's like nothing. I mean, you know, you seen Christina Aguilera lately? It's a softcore porn. What is that? There was actually a natural connection between Salt-N-Pepa and Kid and Play. And we had the same producer, manager, Harvey Lovebug. And Harvey's philosophy was the strong help the weak. Salt-N-Pepa were out front. They were fantastic. They were known the world over. And we rode on their coattails, literally and figuratively.
I love them dudes. They were just great. They were New York cats, too, you know, who had made it.
Kid and Play were the nicest rappers in the world. They were nice rappers.
Hey, Mark, you want to turn that shirt down?
We're Kid and Play. We're the dancing Negroes. Come on.
Always a lot of energy with Kid and Play. They came out and went to work.
At that time, you had to dance, if you remember. The people don't dance anymore, but they had dances they had to do, you know.
We used to do a move where we would just kind of hit each other's elbows, you know, like Mark McGuire, a little Bash Brothers thing, right? So what happened was when he hit my elbow, he knocked the mic out of my hand. So the mic is flying in the air, and I just happened to reach out with my left hand, and I caught the mic in midair before it hit the ground. I'm telling you, you can go back and look. It's amazing. It'll never happen again in a million years.
Just take a look around, boys.
Play was our designer, you know, with the outfits and stuff. So, you know, I left all that to him. What was that? With that thing around the arm, what was that? I was about to serve a mug of beer. All they needed was a handlebar mustache, and that would have been great, right?
Come on, rock and swing. You gotta roll with Kid and Play. Everybody say,
For Kid and Play, that's what I'll always remember. Ola, ola, eh.
Yeah, I watched Showtime at the Apollo. Who didn't?
Every, Saturday night? Grandma's house, checking it out.
That's the show that we all grew up watching in the hood.
The amateur acts was always the tense moment, because you know that, at any moment somebody can get dogged out.
The acts that came on to get booed or, hooray or whatever, that was always fun.
For amateurs, this is very difficult. You have anywhere from a minute to 2 minutes. You get a couple of opportunities to work with the band, and then you get thrown up there on stage, and it's feeding time at the zoo.
Can you imagine 1,500 pit bulls?
Lauryn told me about her performance on Amateur Night. She said it was rough.
She was too far from the mic. I thought she was extremely nervous.
Felt bad for her. The deep thing is the Apollo will boo you. They don't care how old you are.
I wish I could say something different, but, she was not really exceptional as an amateur. The Apollo audience said, step up to the mic. And Lauryn Hill stepped up to the mic and made it through what could have been a disastrous performance.
As she started getting into it, she got more and more confident, and she won the crowd over. That's what you call an Apollo performance.
And I wonder
She wasn't
finely tuned in. But to go up on the Apollo and have the heart enough to go on amateur, that just says a lot about a person.
When she did hit with the Fugees, she came right back to the Apollo.
Ready or not, here I go.
Lauren's mother had kept in touch with our producer of Amateur Night, and so we sort of had the inside track. You know, we were rooting for this band.
Yo, we got a problem. The crowd isn't moving. What's going on?
We didn't know what went on. We didn't know if we were supposed to stop tape or what have you, because he said, you guys aren't feeling this. You guys aren't feeling this. And all of a sudden, he challenges Lauryn Hill.
I take this side, you take this side. Freestyle live. Killer, here we go.
Like that. The waxy residue on your rhyme style is ridiculous. If you're misogynist, then you probably cannot get with this. If you sip with this, we'll leave no witnesses. See, nobody can touch what God bless, and I mean this. So I'll be like Osiris, ready to get the mices. If you talking females, just sing it up the nicest.
She comes out with this incredible rap. Everybody loves it. They get up on their feet. They start gigging to it. Then Wycliffe comes in, and he starts doing this Caribbean thing. And next thing you know, we're having this crazy party.
Got the band up there. They just gave you some kind of spontaneous crowd hype routine and got the crowd crazy. That was like one of the livest crowds that I've seen in there. When I mean, everybody's hands were in the air. They were jumping in the air. We had Wyclef and Pras up there, classic Fugees performance, you know.
Hold up. I said she's the Bob Marley of rap music. When she wants to actually get across a message, a lot of people will listen to her.
I think it's kind of ironic, and I think it's funny, and I'm sure she gets a kick out of it when you show that footage of her as a young girl getting booed. Flash forward to her being the biggest pop star on the planet. Hey, Harlow, you like me now. Okay, you like me, right? Ooh, la, 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 right. Okay, you miseducation, Lauryn Hill. Oh, you like me now. Okay. Well, you booed me! And it hurt.
The Apollo is the roots. That's the underground vibe.
One of the things you look forward to in your career is being able to perform there, man.
Do you guys know your clothes is on backwards?
Jump.
It was like nothing I've ever seen.
He knows how to just get the crowd amped.
If you was in the way, you was finna get hit.
I went home in an ambulance that night.
Back to the 20s.
That Tree of Hope is a deep story. That's where all the performers used to stand in the 20s, because the Broadway people would come and pick them when somebody got sick in the play. But they used to always put them in heavy makeup because black people weren't allowed to perform on Broadway. So when they widened the street on 125th, they cut that tree down. Well, the performer said, put it at the Apollo, and when we walk out to perform, we'll rub it, just like they used to rub it on the street waiting on somebody to pick them up.
Diamond, you want to go back there and rub that log? It's a tradition. You didn't mean that. You just forgot, right? That's all. So just go do it now. That's a temporary thing. We can get it done. There you go. All right, good thing.
No, you should always rub the log.
Oh, yeah, I rub the log.
No, I didn't get to rub the log.
You got up there and rubbed on the log.
I seem to remember everybody that rubbed that tree got booed. I think I hurtled over it the last time we performed.
I'm not going to tell Apollo, but I bought a knife there one time and I carved a piece of bark and I kept it.
And to know how many people have done that and that your hand was placed right there next to Michael Jackson and Stevie Wonder and everybody. You know how many people touch that log? You know what they had on their hands? It's nasty.
Show your love and rub the log.
Show your love, Apollo, and rub the log.
Show your love for Steve Harvey's mustache.
All right, y'all, show your love.
He's got a great smile, too, man. Teeth look like he stole 10 bags of chiclets.
As important as the major acts are, the show is about the amateurs.
Amateur Night was the best part.
You watched it for Amateur Night?
Before we were Naughty, we were a group called New Style, and we were one of the amateurs up there one night.
My grandmother, she won second prize at the Apollo in 1947.
The first time I was at the Apollo, I was 15 years old, and I didn't make it to the television. You know what I'm saying?
American Idol, everything that they got going on right now, that's where it all stemmed from.
That's like 20 years ago, but with 3,000 Simons.
right.
On an average with Showtime at the Apollo, we book about 12 to 14 acts. And 9 times out of 10, about 4 or 5 of them will drop out.
Up to the moment we roll tape and fly that curtain, we're constantly adjusting and shuffling things.
And on one particular occasion, we had heard about this guy named Jermaine Dupri, and he had this group called Kris Kross, and they were kids. And we decided to go ahead and try it out, see if it would work.
The curtain flew, the song started, and Within 10 seconds, the Apollo was jumping.
We commit to make ya. Don't make Dada make ya. A daddy Mac will make ya. Kris Kross will make ya. Don't try to compare what's seen as a bad little bad. I'm the Mac in a bag. Give you something that you never had.
Backstage, I'm watching as half the tech crew is jumping up and down, jump.
How high, 'cause I'm just a fuck. A young lovable hookable seven god.
I gotta tell you, when Kris Kross came stage right, and they're getting ready to go on, I look at these two kids, their clothes were on backwards. So I say to them,
You guys know your clothes is on backwards? You know, we were like, yeah, you know, that's how we wear our pants.
oh, okay, whatever.
The Mac Dada make ya. A daddy Mac will make ya. Kris Kross will make ya. Believe it. Yeah, Kris Kross is in the house.
Yeah, I do still wear my pants backwards.
Naughty by Nature rocked the house at the Apollo. Naughty by Nature, you know, you were like, oh my God.
Tretch didn't have to say a word because the whole audience knew every line, everything he was going to say, everything he thought he was going to say, anything he was planning on saying, they knew it beforehand.
You know what I'm PP? You know what I'm PP? You know what I'm PP? Who's know what I'm PP?
I call them rockers. When I say rock, I mean they rock the place. You've got the people in the balcony standing up. And when you can get the people up top to stand up, you are good.
That was the peak of when we were straight off the street, right there in the superstardom and everything. We looked like junior high school students. Me and Tretch had braids. Braids, yeah, it was crazy.
Another popular group up at the Apollo, especially because what they were singing about, I think the majority of people up at the Apollo just immediately related.
Let me tell you about OPP. You guys probably know what OPP is.
The people in the control room had no clue of what OPP was.
And the cameraman wouldn't tell us what OPP meant.
Nobody's really paying attention to the performance because nobody can get the answer to their questions like, what is OPP?
Everybody all over the world say, who's the lady in the front row? Who's the lady in the front row?
I don't know of many shows that have this, and it's not meant in a negative sense, but I think that Eva is Showtime at the Apollo's mascot.
Freaky Eva.
The lady with the jerry curl on the front that loves everybody.
We call her the crazy lady at the Apollo.
She was a permanent fixture.
She's like the horniest woman in the world, right? You just have a feeling that Marvin Gaye, Let's Get It On, is running through her head perpetually.
She up there rubbing on knees and jumping and shaking and doing a damn thizzle.
Come here, come here.
She's just like grabbing away and just like, ah! Woo!
Oh. Every single performance, no matter what was there, Miss Eva always bought a ticket, and she always bought seat 108.
I'm on my knees and I got my eyes closed. And I look up and it's Eva right here.
I love you too, baby.
Go, you dirty old broad. Go on with your bad self.
Let's give it up for Brian McKnight.
First time Brian came out, bam, the Sashi vest on.
I never thought that I'd be in a position to say, man, that was 10 years ago and I look crazy.
Now, the Apollo loved Brian.
It's undeniable that we should be together. It's unbelievable how I used to say that I'd fallen.
One of the great things about Brian is he always comes back. You know, he remembers where he came from.
Brian came in from London to come and shoot the show with us. There are a number of artists that evolved this special relationship where our talent executive could pick up a phone and say, can you get here?
There are a couple of places where you'll play where you'll do whatever you have to do to get there. The Showtime at the Apollo performances are one of those.
Brian McKnight flew in overnight, tired, came to rehearsal, came up with the idea that he would like a children's string section to play with him. It turned out to be a gorgeous number.
because of the struggle to get there and everything. I think that back and one was a real highlight.
Better start back and run.
When these boys step to the Apollo, you better be ready.
Onyx, I remember Onyx.
Onyx, I just was that with Slam?
The audience at the Apollo is energetic, rowdy, but always under control. There's a line that they don't cross. There are certain acts that have come on the show over the years that push them over that limit.
So my baptism by fire for being a stage manager was I had to cue the host, Mark Curry, from the aisle.
The host says, ladies and gentlemen, Onyx, the curtain flew, and there was a riot, a literal riot.
I was lifted up in the air.
People were jumping over the seats of the theater.
Yeah, you got to get out the way when they're doing that.
I had been toppled over.
I wasn't sure what was going on. It was just pure chaos.
If you was in the way, you was finna get hit.
She was a human floor mat.
I went home in an ambulance that night.
It was like nothing I've ever seen in my days in television and certainly in my days at the theater.
Got to control your entourage. Control your entourage for real.
The acts that come on the show are so new that we don't know who's up on that stage. You know, Ja Rule was up there, and his songs were hot. Everyone knew Ja Rule, but and there was this cute girl that sang next to him.
Very attractive young lady, beautiful voice.
And we had no idea who she was. She was just a background
She
singer.
sang the choruses, always on time.
Who cares? You care, baby. I'm not always there when you call, but I'm always on time. Come on, I gave you my all.
And, you know, our camera coverage, we really you focus on the star, not necessarily a backup singer.
You could almost see people around the theater going, yeah, she's, you know, she could do something.
Now, baby, be mine. Always there when you call, always on time. Gave you my, baby, be mine.
Turns out her name was Ashanti, and she is doing something.
Little Kim's got this incredibly skimpy outfit on.
This was not made to contain anything.
Guys in the audience are already starting to motion them off to the side.
You got Tupac up there in the background.
Chuck D was boiling.
Flav didn't show.
I was so mad. I was so mad.
Apollo, here to perform. Buck Wildin', Public Enemy.
Chuck D arrived early in the day and did a sound check. Everything was cool, but Flava Flav didn't come for the sound check.
Never showed up that entire evening.
I was so mad. I was so mad.
When word came down that Flav wasn't there, I didn't think they meant he was not physically in the house. I thought that he just wasn't with it in terms of performing right now.
Flav didn't show.
Now, Flav got arrested that night. He didn't just not show up. Oh, he wanted to be there.
I don't exactly remember, but it was Flavor Flav. You had to take the flavor with the flavor.
Chuck D was boiling.
Come on, pump it up, y'all. Come on, we gonna pump this up. New York, we gonna do this. Go, we gonna break it down. Go, come on.
The last thing you want to tell that audience is that Public Enemy is deciding not to perform.
Let's be honest, Public Enemy hasn't always gotten the best press. And then Flav to not show.
We were really afraid of a riot.
A revolt.
Just a revolt. So we talked to Chuck, and we asked him to please go out.
I have no idea what I said, but people said it was eloquent. It was probably, you know, I was doing my best not to curse and be angry.
Crowd started booing and screaming, and then they started chanting and asking him to perform anyway.
The show must go on.
Damn, like I told him, there's a man with an attitude. Some people call me rude, and every pump in the stand and look to get shall start piling. It's terminated X-Buck Wildin'.
Chuck D really, you know, he pulled it off, and he showed that he was really the heart of Public Enemy.
I was wheeling with the boom in the back. The trouble was level, I like that. I was rolling. 5-0, looked this and told it. And I stopped still, I never got ill. Because my life was clean and I sold it. Yes, We're out of here, y'all. Peace and love.
I was so mad during that performance. I was like telling Sinbad, I was like, I'm sorry, Sinbad, I apologize to the crowd. They was like, go ahead, just do it, Chuck, you know. And I did it.
Chuck D goes out and he does the one song, and then they all leave. And even though he had told the audience that's what he was going to do, the audience wasn't having it. And then you hear Don Weiner say,
We got a very funny guy from Cleveland, Ohio, Steve Harvey. Now, the band's not even playing the little walk-on song, because they start unhooking, because they know we're going to probably have a ride. And, buddy, I was out there cooking. Was literally on low roast.
and he pulled it off so well that his performance really stood out in our minds when it came time to decide who the next host of the show would be.
Our first contestants are from Texas. Let's bring on the unknown rappers, ladies and gentlemen.
Sometime our show got influenced by other shows, and there was another show that was on called The Gong Show that a buddy of mine, Chuck Barris, actually created. And he always used to have the unknown comedian who would come out with a paper bag. And so we had booked this act, and they came to us just before they went on with this crazy idea.
Okay, what song are you going to rap? What rap are you going to rap for?
We're gonna do an original. We're the unknown rappers. Yes, we are. Unknown rappers. Go real straight.
How does a pit bull react to a piece of meat with gravy? You know, they were salivating. They were ready to get their boo on. Guys in the audience are already starting to motion them off to the side.
And then I hear the cue from the control room, fly the curtain.
All right, let's go. Clap your hands. Come on, let's go.
You had Shock G up there, Funk Bass, Money B. You had Tupac up there in the background. And how they came out was, I think that was dope.
It was awesome. I wasn't in on it.
And the audience just loved it. I mean, you know, first they're hating them, and then the boos turned to cheers when that curtain went up.
Any ladies in the house want to rub some lotion on me and Money B? Let me hear
The Apollo, it's nearly 100 years old, and so it's got its imperfections. And so you do hear the stories from the performers who will come in and they'll say, wow, I'm really enjoying this experience, but do you think I could have, like, running water in my dressing room today?
When they get there, they arrive in their limo, and that's the last glamorous thing that they actually see.
I think everybody talks about the flight of stairs.
We went up all these stairs.
Going up the stairs, those rickety stairs.
5 floors up straight up. There's no elevators, any of that. Okay, 2 more flights to go. Okay, your dressing room is at the end of the hall.
That hallway speaks volumes. You feel the pain, you feel the enjoyment, you feel the night they didn't get paid, you feel the night they came out of there with some money.
Just going to the dressing rooms is like, wow, this is the Apollo Theater, you know, this is deep.
Just think of the countless stars who came before us who were in those same rooms, you know?
I walk all the way up the steps with this luggage, and I go in the room, and there's 7 other acts in there.
Are you sure Sammy Davis Jr. was in here? Little Coon comes out, and she's got this incredibly skimpy outfit on.
She's always provocatively dressed. She loves her body, and you know the clothes are always revealing, and they're not always made for live performance.
This was not made to contain anything.
No.
She's getting into the song, and all of a sudden, one of her breasts comes out.
She popped out of her top multiple times.
Wow. The crew loved that.
Okay, we've got a problem here. Should we continue taping? Should we stop? Her breast is out. Can somebody zoom in on that?
She finished the song, and we decided that perhaps to maintain our ratings, we should shoot it over again. They redid her outfit, and she went out and performed again for us.
Lil' Kim need to keep her clothes on. Once again, I must refer to the R. Kelly incident of the past year, thus having to refrain from making comments about Little Kim. Could be 16, don't really know, can't chance it.
I don't care if you sold 8 billion records. You got to get down uptown at the Apollo, and you got to rip it.
Now, Apollo is the roots. That's the underground vibe. So you should always go back there and rock because, you know, it keeps you credible.
This is live television, man. What you gonna do, man?
Cliff, he's always been energetic, you know. I guess he knows how to just get the crowd amped.
I mean, he's a straight pro, you know. He comes to Apollo, he knows, you know. He comes to work.
Wyclef can work a room. Wyclef can make that whole room shut down.
He is such a showman. He has such a sensibility. It's really incredible.
I mean, that's what Apollo was about. Like, you have to put on a show. Don't just put in your DAT tape and push play. You got to put on a show.
Heavy D. I love Heavy D. Heavy D's my guy. Okay, me and Heavy D.
Overweight lover.
Heavy D, big boy with a lot of energy. Can't go wrong with that.
Back in those days, you know, it was about dancing. Every MC had dances. I guess it was all about being entertaining.
They had so much fun on stage that it actually taught us how to relax and have fun.
He was a great big garbage bag. I mean, he was in that Missy Elliott blow-up suit long before she ever did it. But she did it as a video to be funny. Hev was dead serious with that suit.
I think he looks exceptionally good in black patent leather.
Now I'm sure Hev look at it and shake his head like, what was I doing?
Heavy D is still pretty fierce to me, you know.